introduce the National Louis University. And the session will be divided to two parts. The first part, the admission officer, Carla, will introduce the admission process of CPT application, program, and CPT policy. The second part of the info session will be live Q&A. So please feel free to submit your question in the Q&A section. And if you have CPT related question, please scan the QR code in the right corner. Hi, Carla.
Hi, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for having us here.
Of course. Before we started, I want to introduce a little bit about GoElite. So about GoElite, GoElite is a professional education institute based in Los Angeles, California. We represent as official admission of more than 50 universities, and we dedicate to providing international students with high quality consultation and helping them with their academic problems, evaluating the best CPT school option for them. GoElite is also an AIRC certificate organization. Our vision and mission, so far, GoElite has served over 47 states in US and collaborate with more than 50 universities. We promise to provide high quality consultation for free. And these are the students' feedback from GoElite. If you are interested, you can go on Google Maps to search for more. And today's agenda, let me hand you over to Carla for the admission process, CPT program, CPT policy of National Louis University. Hi, Carla. Could you please share your screen?
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. It's just going to take me 1 second to get that going. And while I would just say, I will tell you that it's also wonderful working with GoElite and the students that you send to us and the service that you provide for students. It's really outstanding. So you're a wonderful organization to work with, and we really appreciate your level of professionalism and the way that you work with us and the way that you work with students.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. Let's start the info session of National Louis University.
Great. Now you may have to help me here again. Are you getting the right screen?
Yeah, could you please share the whole screen?
Yeah, let's see. There we go. You got it? Okay.
You got it.
Great. All right, so I'm so happy to have the chance to talk to you about the DBA, the Doctorate of Business Administration, that is offered by National Louis University. National Louis University, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, its accreditation, a little bit about its ranking, location, the program itself, how often you have to come to campus, and then we'll really get into the CPT because I know that's very important to you. And then obviously we'll talk about the tuition and how you apply. So a little bit of background about NLU. National Louis University has been around for over 130 years. Its main campus is in Chicago. And then in the 80s, they opened a campus in Tampa, Florida. And it's the Tampa, Florida campus where the DBA is offered. And it's really an outstanding location. It's really close to the Tampa airport. It's also in a great business district. It's a really convenient location, and the faculty and the staff at the Tampa location are just outstanding. And normally, who doesn't like to go to Florida? It's a great location in general. National Louis University is regionally accredited, which is the highest form of accreditation, and it participates in continuous quality improvement. And so that's something that you can feel very comfortable about when you apply to the program. In terms of the ranking, you have to remember National Louis University is a smaller university. It's not a flagship university like a major state university. So in terms of ranking, it's going to be in 331 out of 440 national universities because of its smaller size. But it has been noted as a top performer on social mobility. So it has those distinctions. It has 4 locations, but the location that is most important to you would be the Tampa, Florida location, because that is where the DBA is offered. but it does have a broad reach in the Midwest and Florida. So talking about the DBA, the Doctorate of Business Administration is a day one CPT program. So many of the students that we have that are applying to the program will be individuals who are finishing a master's degree and are finishing up their OPT, and they want to continue with their academics, but they also want that opportunity to be able to continue in their career. And so this day one CPT allows them to seamlessly transfer from OPT to CPT when they begin the program. So that's a real benefit of that. The other thing that I think students really appreciate is that everyone who is in the program is also a professional international student. They come from a broad range of backgrounds. We have dentists, we have engineers, we have chemical engineers, we have entrepreneurs. So it's a really unique group of individuals, and it makes for a great environment as a student. The program itself is designed for, like I said, international students and academic professionals, and you're coming up from a master's degree. So it's really an outstanding program. It emphasizes leadership, strategic thinking, decision-making, and your research skills. There is a research component to the degree program, and I think that's another thing that students really appreciate, because whatever their area of expertise and academic and professional interest is, they're able to pursue that through their research, which is really outstanding. So this particular slide that we're looking at, the DBA program is slated to offer 4 concentrations: accounting, international business, marketing, and management. Right now, the concentration that has been launched is the management concentration, but they're continuing to add the concentrations as the program progresses. We have, so as we said, National Louis University has been around for over 130 years, but the DBA program, we are now in our 2nd year of this particular program. So as the program continues, they will continue to add those concentrations. The nice thing though is if you are someone who's interested in accounting or international business or marketing, or I have, like I said, I have students who are doctors and dentists. So if you're someone who's interested in healthcare or another field, because you do have that research component that allows you to really dive deep into your particular specialization. So that's pretty exciting. Now it is what we call a hybrid program. So what that means is it's blended. You have on-campus time, but then you also have the remainder of the time where you're going to be doing your work, your coursework at home in whatever U.S. city that you choose, wherever you want to live and work. They have, when you read international student support, I can't even begin to tell you the fantastic support that you get from the folks at National Louis University. They are truly individuals that have the student's best interest in mind. Your CPT is that job-focused practicum, and in alignment with all USCIS and SEVP regulations for international students, that CPT is going to be connected. Your job is going to be connected with your degree program. The other really, I think, hidden gem of the program is that professional networking. When you come to campus those 3 times a year, you are going to be meeting with some of the most outstanding international professionals that you could imagine. We have students who come from all over the world, who come from premier universities in the United States. So it's really an outstanding opportunity. Some details about the program, the course requirements. Obviously, you do, if it's a doctorate degree, you're going to have a master's degree. Where NLU states that they want you to have business administration or a business related field, they're actually pretty lenient about that. So like I said, I have folks that are coming in from engineering, coming in with with degrees in medicine, psychology. So while that might be something that is preferred, it's certainly not something that is strictly enforced. So I wouldn't let that statement discourage you from pursuing the program. It is a 4-year degree program. It is designed to be completed in 4 years. If you're someone who is very ambitious and you want to get it completed in less time, 3.5 years, that is possible. That just has to do with your research component. You are going to take 2 8-week classes every 16-week semester. And as we said, the degree is designed to be completed in 4 years, and that is considered full-time enrollment. Remember, this program is in compliance with all US CIS and SCVP regulations for international students. So you are a full-time on-campus student with this program. So continuing on, clearly I'm not going to read through all of the courses that are offered, but I'm going to let this slide kind of sit here for a moment so you can get kind of an overview of the courses that are offered. You can see that you have those core courses in management, and you can see that they span from managing global challenges to marketing. Then you have your research component, and then going back to management, and then again, focusing further on that research. So one of the nice things in that when we look at those research courses, those courses are the foundation to prepare you to get into your actual doctoral research. So NLU does a fantastic job of really setting students up for success. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about working with them is they want students to be successful, and they do everything they can to support students for success. So in terms of the DBA, the career outlook obviously is excellent. You would be considered an expert in your field. It opens the door to a variety of executive level roles, anywhere from large businesses and organizations, but it also, allows you, if you're someone who is more entrepreneurial, the DBA definitely supports you if you're looking to go out on your own, if you have some innovative ideas and strategies that you wanted to pursue. So those are all outstanding benefits of the program. And I think the combination between the professors and the faculty and administration who are part of the DBA program, and I know I keep saying it, but the actual students that you're going to meet are going to be phenomenal resources as you pursue the program and as you continue to pursue your career. Median pay continues to increase over the years, which is always positive. We always want to hear that. So some really positive things about the career outlook. One thing too, I want to point out, sometimes I have students ask me, what's the difference between a DBA, a doctorate of business administration, and a PhD? So both of those are doctorate degrees. So those are called terminal degrees. There is no difference in terms of, is one better than the other? But it is important to understand in terms of what your goals are, whether you would be someone who wants to pursue a DBA versus someone who wants to pursue a PhD. And an easy way to understand that is a PhD is a doctor of philosophy that's going to be extremely research-based. And that is actually for people who are looking to pursue the theories behind the discipline. So this is for people who are looking for a very theoretical background, and also for folks who maybe are interested in going into university. They want to be a university professor, or they want to go into research. The DBA, again, a doctorate degree, but this is very practical. This is a practical approach to the discipline. So everything that you are learning is going to be, at the forefront of the discipline, but it's also going to practically apply the theories to what you're actually doing in your job and in your career. Not to say that you couldn't go into a career as a professor, but this degree, the DBA, is just more career focused than a PhD. I say profession focused. So one question that a lot of students want to know, obviously, since you have to travel to campus, how frequent do you need to do that? You will come to campus once a semester, one weekend. So Friday through midday, Sunday, you're going to come. That's once a semester. There are 3 semesters a year. So that means you're coming to Tampa 3 times a year, once in the fall, once in the winter, and once in the summer. So part of that on semester requirement, going back to, is in order for students to maintain their F1 status. It is so important that we make sure that students are always in compliance with all the SEVIS rules and regulations for F1 students. So we're very strict about that. And ultimately that pays off, obviously, for the integrity of your status. But we also have students, a lot of students who may eventually be sponsored for H-1B. And it's so important that everything that you're doing in your academic program is in compliance with those rules and regulations. And that's another reason why we want to make sure that we always follow them and that we always strictly comply with them and hold students to those standards. So as I mentioned, there's 3 semesters a year. The upcoming start date, if you were looking to apply, the first semester that you would be able to apply for is the winter semester. That begins on January 6th. Actually 2023, I would recommend that you get started on that application. Even if you're transferring your SEVIS, it doesn't hurt to get going on that. I've already accepted quite a few students for the January semester. If you're someone who needs an F1 visa, then you definitely want to get started on your application for the January semester. The application process is pretty simple. And we can certainly go through that momentarily. The next semester is in the summer, which is in May, and then we start again in the fall, which is in August. So those 3 semesters every year. So the program, the actual degree program, requires that students participate in CPT. So if you think about that, remember I said that the DBA is a degree that is really designed for experts who want to be, people who want to be expert practitioners in their field. So combining that CPT, that professional experience, with your academic studies is just the perfect combination, because you're actually taking what you're learning in your classes and you're connecting it with what you're doing in your particular job in your career. So that's where that CPT is an integral part of the DBA program. And that is also, because it is a requirement of the degree, that's why CPT is authorized from day 1. And it is authorized for, it says here for 2 years, but it's actually authorized for 4 years because it is a 4-year degree. So for your course requirements, as we mentioned before, each semester you're going to take 2 3-credit classes. That is considered full-time. That's another question sometimes students ask. They say, oh, well, I thought in grad school full-time was 9 hours. Full-time is whatever the university's rules determine to be full-time. So with NLU, a full-time course load for a doctoral student would be 6 credit hours. So that keeps you in compliance. You're doing 2 3-credit hour courses. One of those classes that you take, the first 3-credit hour class, you're going to meet on campus. You're going to meet your professor. You're going to have the lectures over the weekend. You're going to meet your classmates, and then you're going to complete that course. And then the other class that you're going to take will be strictly online. There are no courses there let me rephrase that. There are no online classes that you have to attend, where there's a session that you have to meet at a certain time. Everything is done through the learning management system. There are sessions that are optional for you to attend if you want to have that face-to-face, but the online aspect of it, you can do the whole thing through the learning management system. You're not actually required to show up at a particular time. The total degree program is 60 credits plus your dissertation. And as we mentioned before, you are going to be participating in CPT. That's part of the degree. And that's really beneficial. When you think about that, you're getting that practical experience, but you're also earning a professional income, which is outstanding. You're supporting your expenses and you're paying for your tuition through your job. What could be better? So you have the option with your CPT. You can work part-time if you want it. That's 20 hours or fewer per week, or you could work full-time, and that's considered more than 20 hours per week. As I mentioned before, it is a 4-year program, so you are going to work for 4 years, all full-time, some part-time. That's entirely up to you. If you want to, you can, if you have never done OPT at the doctoral level, you certainly can participate in OPT after graduation. It is 1 year of optional practical training after graduation. If you wanted to do that 1 year of full-time optional practical training, that means that you would need to do CPT full-time for no more than 11 months and 29 days. And the rest of the time you would do part-time CPT. So that's just a decision as a student that you would need to determine, what's best for you. Do you want to do 4 years of full-time work at CPT, or do you want to mix it up and add that last year of OPT? So how does the CPT application and authorization work? Once you're accepted into the program, you're going to get a very detailed acceptance email. Part of that, if you're already in the US and you're already an F1 student, part of that's going to be your CVIS transfer. And then the other part of that's going to be your CPT authorization. And all of that is clearly detailed. You're going to submit that CPT authorization form to NLU with the required documents, your offer letter and your job description. Your DSO at NLU will review that and approve it. If they have some questions, again, the wonderful thing about NLU is they will work with you. They'll talk to you and let you know if you need to make some changes so that your CPT fits within the program. And then your CPT will be authorized, it'll be approved, and CPT can be approved for 1 year at a time. So if you never change jobs while you were in the program, then you would just have your CPT renewed once a year. If you were to change jobs, you would just go through that process again. And that's something too that's so important to know. If you decided you wanted to take a new job, that's fine. You can do that whenever you want and however many times you want. There's nothing wrong with that. So you should never feel concerned about that. Or like I said, you could work for the same company all 4 years. But if you wanted to change jobs, that's not a problem at all. So another really important question is, how much does this program cost? So it does have a fixed tuition fee. Every semester, students are charged $4,992. That covers everything. There's no additional fees, and that tuition is due prior to the start of the program. And as we said before, it's usually completed in 10 semesters, so the total cost would be $49,920. A lot of students ask about scholarships. And, I could do a whole presentation on doing the math on the average value of a scholarship versus the value of paying your tuition while you're on CPT, and the ability to live and work anywhere in the US. And generally, we find that students are going to come out much better when they are able to live and work in whatever job they choose in any US city of their choice, and then pay that pretty reasonable tuition, as opposed to the more, traditional scholarship schemes that you see in more traditional programs. So overall, I think it's a really outstanding deal. So how do you apply? Am I still covering this part? I think so, because you're going to get with GoElite, and you're going to contact them about wanting to apply to the program. And everything is free, which you should be delighted. There is absolutely no application fee. So you're going to get your application consultation with GoElite. They're going to assist you with the application and help track your progress. And that is another thing. Once again, it's such a pleasure to work with GoElite, because they really do check in on the progress of their students' applications. They definitely advocate for their students, and they are a wonderful organization to work with. And, I can honestly say I've been working with international students and international agencies for over 10 years, and GoElite truly does an outstanding job. So that's great for you and for me as well. You'll get your application. I'll send you that application, and it's a really streamlined, excellent process. You're going to upload the required documents. Everything is just uploaded into that packet. You've got your application form. NLU does require a goal statement. You can't give them a generic goal statement. It has to be specifically for that DBA program. And one of the reasons for that I really love is they want to make sure that this program is a good fit for you. And I've actually had them come back to me and want to make sure that, this really is a good fit for the students that are applying. They do need to see your resume. Now, they are looking for students who have at least 3 years of professional work experience. And then we do need to see your degree certificates and transcripts. If your master's degree was earned in the US by a US institution, then that's great. We don't need to worry about any transcript evaluations. If you've earned a degree in a country outside of the US, you do have to get a transcript evaluation. But again, US degrees, no evaluations, but you do need to make sure that we have your degree conferral and conferral date. They also want 2 letters of recommendation, and these letters also need to be for the DBA program. And they want to make sure that you are set up for success, which I appreciate. If you've earned your degree in the US, they will waive the proof of English proficiency. If you got your degree outside of the US, then they are looking at either TOEFL, IELTS. They also take PTE, and that's Pearson's Test of English. And they also will take Duolingo. We can get into those details in the Q&A. You also need your passport, your I-20, your visa, and your latest I-94. And then the financial support is $22,000. So remember, your financial support is a requirement of USCIS, and that covers what is considered 1 year of tuition and living expenses. So that's why that number doesn't always fit with what the tuition would be. So then you're going to get your offer. The turnaround time is really very good. When I receive your application, I will look at it usually within 24 hours and get back to you and let you know if I need anything. And then I forward it to NLU, and we'll get a decision for you within 5 to 7 business days. And from there, we'll start the process. And if you're in the US, you're going to transfer your CVIS. If you are in need of an F1 visa, we're going to get that I-20 to you as quickly as we can, so we can get you going on your F1 visa. And I will also provide some support to you on the whole visa process as well. So we're there to help you out. And then when you're ready, you can get going on your CPT employment authorization. And one thing I will tell you, again, if you are in the US and you're finishing OPT, you're transferring your CVIS, if you needed to start your CPT before the program start date, we can let you enroll in the program and begin your CPT up to 30 days before the program start date. And that's in compliance with SEVIS rules for international student. And that's something that is just super helpful. So that's something that students really appreciate. The application deadline is 2 weeks before the program start date. Again, if you're an F1 transfer student and you want to take at least 8 weeks before the program start date if you need to get that F1 visa. But that's the basics for the application process. We try to make it as streamlined and as efficient as we can, and we are here to help you the whole way through.
Thank you, Carla. I will take this slide. So for more information, feel free to scan the QR code on the right side. We have free consultation for you. And GoElite is National Louis University's official partner, and we provide free consultation, free apply, and free application process check. I will share my screen for the live Q&A part. Carla, do you mind? Yeah, thank you. So we got a couple of questions from the students. The first question will be, is it possible for international students to apply for scholarship?
So once I just took a sip of water.
Of course.
So that is a question that we get all of the time, and that's really understandable because scholarships are the most traditional form of ways that students get support for their education. But the way this program is designed, I can tell you, is honestly better than a scholarship. A traditional scholarship, I will tell you, is a student is going to be a TA, or they're going to be a student assistant. When I used to work with my graduate assistants, they would get maybe their tuition covered, and then they would have to work on campus. And so they would work X number of hours a week on campus, and they would, do my copies for me, and they would do filing, and they would do things that absolutely made no sense for someone who was such an accomplished professional as the graduate assistants that I was working with. So I feel like we have a much better program because our students, first of all, only have to come to campus 3 times a year. They're able to live and work in any US city that they want. And then they're able to actually earn a professional income. And that allows them to pay for their tuition, and they're able to get that professional experience that really lets them build a resume. So that gives you a jump start compared to most students who are doing a teaching assistantship or who are doing that graduate assistantship.
Okay, the next question student asks is, what kind of career assistance that a school can provide for students?
So NLU actually does have a career services, but we would like to make it very clear to students that NLU does not provide job placement. Students are expected to get their jobs if they need some advice, if they need some encouragement, if they need some help. NLU will definitely do that. What I find to be the most beneficial for students is actually that DBA weekend where they are meeting with their classmates who are working for Amazon, their classmates who are working for Meta, who are working for Deloitte, who have that experience and have those professional contacts in the US. And that is far more beneficial than, the folks at the university trying to connect them. So while they will be very supportive, I think there are better resources for you with your classmates.
Okay, the next question is, can I transfer credits to the other universities? Which university will accept the transfer credit from NLU?
So because the program is first of all, it's a doctoral program. And then second of all, it's offered in a cohort format. So the short answer is they do not accept transfer credits. So you're just going to start from the beginning with that.
Okay, the next question is, are there on-campus working opportunities such as paid TA or RA?
Yeah, so I think we've kind of answered that. Again, this is not a traditional program. This is a very innovative program where this is not even an on-campus program. This is a program where you only come to campus 3 times a year. The rest of the time, you are actually working in your profession in that area where you're for your career. So you're building your resume, you're building your professional contacts. So that's just not the way the program is designed.
Got it. The next question student asks is, how many students are there for the DBA program? How many are international students and how many are domestic students?
Right. So we started this program last August, and it has been rapidly building. Remember, for a doctoral program, we don't ever want it to be super big because doctoral students need that individual attention even more so than a master's student, and certainly more so than what you would expect with undergraduate students. So right now we are at about 50 students total. And this program was truly designed for international students with that CPT component. So the majority of our students are international students. So we have about, like I said, we have about 50 international students. And then on top of the 50 international students, I want to say we probably have maybe 5 US students.
Okay, the next question student asks is, if I have finished some marketing, finance, and accounting courses, can I waive these courses for the DBA program?
So no, this is a complete program in and of itself. And so you would follow the full course progression to maintain the integrity of the program.
I see. The next question is it okay to take a guest master? If so, can I still use the CPT while taking the guest master?
So this program is not designed to have any breaks. If a student were to take a break, they would not be eligible to continue with CPT. In order to participate in the CPT, they need to be taking the courses and they need to be enrolled in the program.
I see. The next question is, how does the homework look like normally? And how many hours per week may be spent on it approximately?
Yeah, so that's a really common question. So, so certainly there are going to be some variables that would determine how many hours per week you're going to spend on your homework. It would just depend on your particular background, your area of expertise, if the particular class that you're taking. But a couple things to keep in mind. So first of all, this program is a doctoral program, so it is going to have a level of rigor that you should want and expect. But it is also a program that is designed for working professionals. So there is kind of that balance as well. What I hear most students say is it's about, anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week, dependent upon, again, like I said, the course, dependent upon their particular level of ability and expertise and their background.
I see. The next question is, does DBA require a business background to apply?
Right. So, it does say that in the material, but what has been wonderful is NLU is very open to accepting students who do not come with a business background. And that's made for a wonderful group of students. Like I said, we have doctors and dentists and engineers and chemical engineers. It's really fantastic. So no, you don't have to have a business background.
Okay, got it. The next question is working experience required when applying for the DBA program?
So yes, that is a requirement. I have tried to get them to accept students without work experience, but they won't let me. So you do have to have 3 years of work experience. You could probably sneak in with 2.5, but 3 years is the requirement.
Got it. The next question student asks is, are the courses still online for 2022 to 2023 academic year due to the COVID-19?
No, so as you may have noticed, the COVID restrictions have all been lifted, and as part of that, so have the restrictions for the university. So those 3 weekends a year are mandatory and students are expected to be on campus, and that allows them to maintain their CVIS compliance.
I see. The next question is about GPA. So the student asks, I finished 27 credits at Westcliff University and my GPA is 2.8. I will get dismissed by Westcliff by the end of this year. Is it possible that I transfer my 27 credits to NLU?
Okay, so if you have a 2.8 at Westcliff and you are about to get dismissed, no to all of that for NLU, but we do have a solution for you. We have another program that you could probably get into with a 2.8, and if you can get your GPA up to a 3.0, we could probably then get you into NLU, but you've got to have that 3.0. So.
I see. The next question student asks is, the program requires CPT. What if I can't find an internship? Does it mean I'll fail?
That is an awesome question. So let's answer the last part of that question first. No, you will not fail. So that's the first thing. Yes, it does require CPT. If you cannot find an internship, this is where we go back to one of those earlier questions. NLU will try to work with you. They will connect you with their career services department. They will try to make available the job opportunities and things like that, make you aware of those. So no, they do want you to get a job within the first semester, as long as you're showing that you are really working hard to get a job. That will not be an issue. If it looks like you're not really making an effort, then yeah, you would be dismissed from the program. But if you're making an effort, you're going to get a job. It'll be all right.
Yeah. The next question student asks is, if I enroll before finding out I got an H-1B, can I drop out? What is the refund policy?
Oh, so yeah, you would want to read that really carefully. If you enrolled and started the program, you would probably get a partial refund if it was before what is called drop ad, but you would want to reach out directly to your DSO. Like, that's the first thing you might want to ask when you're accepted into the program. So if again, if you're talking about like, if you got accepted into the program and didn't start the program and got H-1B, then obviously, you would get a full refund. But if you came to the weekend and you started your classes, then, no, you're not going to get a refund. Maybe you'll get a partial, but you'd have to read the specifics and talk to your DSO about that. And you want to do that beforehand.
Got it. And the next question is, does NLU support pre-completion OPT application? Is there a GPA requirement for applying for the pre-completion OPT?
Pre-completion OPT? I don't understand, because we're doing CPT. So are you talking about applying for a post-completion before you complete your degree?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because you're doing CPT. So you're already working
throughout
the degree program. So if you're trying to prepare for your OPT prior to finishing the degree, then your DSO will help you get set up for OPT.
Okay, good. And the next question is also the last question. Student asks, I got my bachelor degree in China and master degree in US. Should I submit my bachelor degree with the evaluation result?
So yeah, that's another great question. No, you are fine. You do need to submit your bachelor's degree and your bachelor's certificate in your application packet, but then you just submit your US master's degree and US certificate. Make sure you have your degree conferral and conferral date, and then you're all set. So no, you don't have to do that.
Okay, thank you, Carla. For the detailed information about the National Louis University DBA program, and I believe we all have a better idea and understanding about the program, including the program highlight like networking and opportunity. Thank you again, and thank you all for the patience. I wish you a very good evening. If you have any more questions, we provide Chinese consulting and English consultation. Just scan the QR code here and reach out for the question. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.